House leadership from the Jubilee Party through Majority Whip Irungu Kangata. Lusaka says that according to the letter, the Monday Jubilee Senate Parliamentary Group meeting was properly constituted. This comes even as immediate Majority Leader Kipchumba Murkomen and Kericho Senator insist that the PG was not properly constituted, sentiments backed by the political party's disputes resolution.
2020. The letter of communication was accompanied with the following documents: minutes of the Jubilee Parliamentary Coalition meetings dated 11th May 2020, which is a record of the proceedings of the meeting, together with resolutions, 2 duly signed list of senators who attended the above indicated meeting, 3 post-election coalition agreement between the Jubilee Party of Kenya and Kenya African National Union, 4 register of political parties certificates dated 8th of May 2020. The minutes show that 20 senators attended the meeting and resolved unanimously to 1. Remove the current leader of majority, Senator Kipchumba Murkomen, in accordance with Standing Order 19.5. B. Remove the current majority whip, Senator Susan Kihika, in accordance with Senate Standing Order 19.5. C. Elect Senator Samuel Bogisho as Senate Majority Leader. D. Elect Senator Irungu Kangata as Senate Majority Whip. E. Elect Senator Haji Farhia Ali as Senate Deputy Majority Whip. I'm satisfied with the changes that the changes were made in accordance with Senate Standing Order 19.1, 2, 3, 40, 5, and 7, and meets the threshold required under Standing Order 19.5, there having been a majority of votes. Accordingly, I wish to communicate to the House that the majority has effected changes which shall now take effect as follows. Senate Majority Leader, Senator Samuel Bogisho. 2. Senate Minority Whip, Senator Irungu Kangata. 3. Senator Majority Whip, Senator Haji Farhia. For avoidance of doubt, Senator Aden Dulo Fatuma continues to be Senate Deputy Majority. Leaders no change were made affecting the officer. I will make a reasoned ruling in due course.
That this House is furnished with the alleged minutes of the meeting, who are present, who signed, because we have supplied your office this morning with a list of 20 senators from the Jubilee Party that have signed and said they were not party to that meeting. Number one, Mr. Speaker, Jubilee has 34 senators in this House. We only have a coalition agreement with PDR. That makes it 35. If 20 senators sent a letter to your office this morning urging you and reminding you that they were never party to these changes, then where did these numbers that are allegedly being used to make these changes come to? Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I am aware that you are also in possession of a letter from the whip of the majority side informing you of a court order that was issued this morning, interim orders from the PPDT, informing you that that decision that was made to enter KANU and Jubilee into a post-election coalition is null and void and stayed because it was non-procedural.
First, Mr. Speaker, I respect this House, I respect the rules of this House, I respect the Constitution and the standing orders. Mr. Speaker, we have received your communication. Note that we were not aware of the machinations and the schemes that were happening. But Mr. Speaker, I am shocked by yourself. This morning, I came to your office with the Senate Majority Whip, and we served you with an order that was procured after an application where the Majority Whip was part of the application. In that application, Mr. Speaker, the court is very express, the tribunal is very express that, Mr. Speaker, it stayed any decision that was going to be made based on the purported coalition agreement between KANU and Jubilee. That is really weighty. Mr. Speaker, when the history of this House will be written, and your time as the second Speaker under the new Constitution, that very decision is going to be very...
Elsewhere, Nandi Senator, who is also the chair of the Senate Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights, Samson Cherargei, has dared President Uhuru Kenyatta to fire all senior government officials perceived to be allied to the Deputy President William Ruto instead of making small changes. Now, Cherargei, who was speaking in Eldoret, said the changes being witnessed were schemes to block the Deputy President from ascending to presidency.
My advice to the President Uhuru Kenyatta, if he needs to fire or relieve anybody of their position that are allied to the Deputy President, he doesn't need to do it in a piecemeal. He just needs to get all friends of William Ruto in government from all the regions in the country and fire them once and for all, so that he can go back and fix this country, so that he can go back to the Big Four agenda, so that he can go back and fight the COVID pandemic, so that he can go back and fight issues of mudslide. Why doesn't he once and for all? That's my best advice. He can fire everybody, fire all of us, fire anybody that he thinks are allied to the Deputy President, and just fix it. We are aware all this scheme is meant for 2022 succession politics. Let him do a list from public service, from political side parliament, combine all the friends of William Ruto from across the country, fire them once and for all, and go back to nation building. So that we stop this gerrymandering of running up and down, doing a PG of Senate, doing a PG of National Assembly, firing one person from Public Service Commission, firing another as you impending cabinet reshuffle. He should just do it once and for all and go back to fix. Because 2 years is not too long.
Elsewhere, over 10 families from Kangundo town in Machakos County have been forced to spend the night in the cold after their landlady removed the door to their houses. According to the tenants, the landlady is forcing them to vacate their houses for her to do renovations. However, they are lamenting that they were not given adequate notice to enable them look for alternative accommodation. To Mombasa now, where the government is expressing optimism that the number of COVID-19 cases in Old Town Mombasa County will decrease in the remaining 13 days of the partial lockdown after residents agreed to comply with government directives. The residents of Old Town have come out in large numbers for testing and have heeded to the government's call to stay at home.
In his visit to Old Town, accompanied by Interior Chief Administrative Secretary Hussein Dado, Coast Regional Commissioner John Elungata said that since the announcement of cessation of movement in and out of Old Town, the residents in the area have been very cooperative.
Tumefurahi kwamba watu walikubali kufanya testing na testing inaendelea tunavyozungumza, na watu wamekubali pia kutii sheria na kukaa nyumbani. Na tunafurahi, na hata vijana ambao serikali ilisema wapatikane wa kusaidia kuosha mji wanaandikishwa. Kwa hivyo tunaona kuna mafanikio, na tukiendelea hivi tunaona malengo ya serikali na malengo ya watu wa Mombasa yatatimia katika kupunguza yale maambukizi yalikuwa yanaonekana yamekita mizizi hapa katika mji wa kale ama Old Town Mombasa.
The Interior CAS has urged the residents of Old Town not to take this as a punishment but as a way to curb the spread of coronavirus.
Haya mambo hayafanywi kuadhibu, la hasha. Na mimi nanyenyekea kwao, tafadhali wale walio mafichoni wajitoe. Ni mzuri ujue status yako. Muna bahati kwa sababu Wakenya sehemu nyingine wanatamani wafanyiwe testing ili wajue hali yao ya kiafya, na wanalipishwa kwa sehemu kubwa. Lakini hapa serikali imeweva na wanapimwa bure, na mtu anapata his results kwa wakati mfupi. Kama hakuna haja yeye kukaa quarantine hata kaa. Na wale ambao wanaenda quarantine, nataka ifahamike, serikali ya kitaifa imechukua majukumu ya kulipia kila kitu.
Additionally, Dado reiterated that the truck drivers coming to Mombasa will also be tested before collecting of cargo from the port.
tulipata changamoto kwamba madereva wengine wanasema ni ngumu wao kwenda town. Sasa kupitia county commissioner tunauliza na county government wafungue hii kliniki ya Miritini ili iwe rahisi madereva wengine wapimiwe hapa. Hiyo ndio changamoto kama hizo tunazosuluhisha hapa. Na leo mmeona watu wanapita panya routes, sasa polisi pia watakuwa more alert now.
The government ordered cessation of movement in Eastleigh, Nairobi County and Old Town, Mombasa County for 15 days after the areas recorded alarming numbers of coronavirus. Lida Gashomo, TV47.
Elsewhere, as scientists across the globe continue to search for a possible COVID-19 cure and a tentative vaccine, a section of residents in Gatwanyaga village in Thika, Kiambu County now say they have discovered the herbs that are being used by Madagascar to manufacture the COVID-19 organics. They are calling on the government to move swiftly and conduct research on the said herbs.
Naitwa David Chege Kuria kutoka hapa Gatwanyaga. Tunajua ukweli hii miti ndio inatumika kutoka Madagascar kwa sababu Madagascar wameweza kucontrol kila kitu na wako na wagonjwa 97, hawana mtu wamekufa, na tukisikia wanatumia miti shamba. Na sisi tumekagua miti ile ambayo tulikuwa tunatumia tukiwa watoto. Tukaona miti ile ilikuwa kali kuliko chloroquine. Ni miti ambayo inaitwa Wajiro Warorie ama Waboi Warorie, kitu kama hiyo. Kwa hivyo tunaomba serikali ifanye jukumu, itafute hii miti, ipeleke kemu, iangalie kama hii miti ni ukweli.
And this particular plant which we are having here has been used for many centuries to cure diseases such as malaria and others. And as we know, in the Western medicine that now we are using, one of the recommended solutions is chloroquine. And the same medicine here is treating malaria. So I believe it has some properties that can also be used to manage the COVID-19 disease.
To Embu now, vulnerable members of the community in Embu County have received 10,000 fruit seedlings from the Ministry of Water and Irrigation. This is a move aimed at achieving the plantation of 4.6 million seedlings countrywide to increase food production and improve environmental conservation. Aaron Kipkoech with the details.
The Ministry of Water and Irrigation has come to rescue of the women and disabled in Embu County.
Tuwapatie kipaumbele au priority vikundi vya kina mama, vijana na watu ambao hali zao ziko chini waweze kukabidhiwa hii miche ambayo itawasaidia kuongeza mapato yao nyumbani na vile vile itawasaidia kuwapatia afya bora, kwa sababu avocado kama mnavyojua ni tunda ambalo lina manufaa sana.
While distributing food to groups, leaders from various ministries insisted on agriculture as a sustainable solution to cushion the groups from hunger.
Tumesambaza tanks za maji katika sehemu ambazo kuna matatizo ya maji. Kuna buzzers ambazo pia tunatumia kudistribute maji katika sehemu ambazo zina matatizo ya maji kwa sasa.
With the guidance of the Ministry of Agriculture, avocado seedlings will be distributed in areas with favorable weather conditions among various groups in the community.
Hii miche kupitia mwongozo wa Wizara ya Kilimo hapa Embu wataangalia, maana si sehemu zote ambazo tunaweza tukapanda hii miche, lakini ziko sehemu kama hizi za Manyata na kadhalika ambapo hali yake ya hewa ni nzuri, mvua inapatikana kwa kiasi kizuri, inaweza kupandwa huko.
Last year, the Ministry of Water and Irrigation distributed 300,000 seedlings, and this year the aim is to distribute 800,000 seedlings.
Tunatekeleza amri ya Rais ambao alitoa karibu miaka 3 iliyopita ya kuhakikisha kwamba kila parastatal inajaribu kuwajibika kusaidia wananchi kwa kusambaza miti ya matunda katika sehemu tofauti tofauti.
The Embu County Commissioner urged Muslims in the region to follow government directives on COVID-19 while they continue with Ramadan prayers.
Tufuate masharti vile inavyotakikana. Ile maneno ya kufuturu pamoja jioni, tafadhali tusubiri. Itafika wakati corona itaenda. Hata ukitaka tuite sote tuje tule kwako, tutakula sote sahani moja. Lakini kwa hivi sasa tusubiri tafadhali, tufuate masharti na maagizo. Ni muda tu. Hii ni upepo, hewa itapita.
Aaron Kipkoech, TV47.
From Embu, let's move to Mombasa now. The wife of Kenya Ports Authority Finance Manager Patrick Nyoike has been charged in a Mombasa court. Jacinta Wambugu was arrested alongside her husband Patrick Nyoike over irregular payment totaling to 214 million shillings. Investigations by the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission established the payments were made between October 2014 and March 2017. From Mombasa, we are taking a short break here on News Deck. We'll be back with more news after this break. Stay tuned.
Mount Kenya University takes pride in being an academic giant with some of the best infrastructure, imparting knowledge to the best brains in the country and the region. Our members of faculty are keen to deliver market-driven programs in science and humanities with a keen focus on linkages with relevant organizations. We admit both self-sponsored and government-sponsored students under the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Service. Join us today and train with the best to become the best. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
Welcome to the exciting world of M-Truck Solutions, your trusted provider for bulk SMSs. We also offer API integrations for all your communication and payment needs. We also provide you with tailor-made payment gateway solution to receive and disperse cash quickly, affordable and securely. Let us expand your reach and connectivity on USSD, SMS and voice today. Call us on 0723 030 030 or email hello@mtruck.limited.co.ke. For more details, visit our website www.mtrucklimited.co.ke.
Welcome back to News Deck. Thank you for choosing to stay with us. Let's move on. 5 siblings have been admitted at the Malava Sub-County Hospital and their father has died after consuming what they perceived to be a traditional herb to cure their stomachache. Elsewhere, still in Kakamega, in Shikoti, villagers were stunned by a decision of a primary school teacher to strip. Mulindi Kerry tells us why.
The residents of Murumba village in Malava are mourning the untimely demise of Geoffrey Luvonga after opting for traditional herbs as a remedy to his stomachache. 5 of his children, whom together with he partook the herbs, are recuperating at Malava Sub-County Hospital.
Naona mtoto yangu anakunywa dawa na mimi nashangaa. Alafu na yuto nakuja hapa kuona yeye sasa, na yeye watoto yangu wote wanaenda kwa hospitali. 5 yosi. Hiyo dawa anataka ya kutibu kwa tumbo, bali yeye ni mgonjwa. Na sasa anakunywa mingi.
Kuna dawa ambayo imekuja na tumejaribu kunywa, alafu wote tuna vomit. So mimi nikashindwa ni dawa gani wakaniletea, nikaona yenyewe hii ni dawa, na hiyo dawa ni ya miti. Nikauliza wametoa wapi, akasema kuna dawa fulani ambayo wamepea. So mimi nikamwambia maybe ni uchafu inatoka kwa tumbo, itapoa.
Meanwhile, in Shikoti village, a 34-year-old primary school teacher, Linet Were, has left tongues waggling after she stripped naked as she fled their matrimonial home.
Nikachukua kifungumu mahali penye alikuwa ameiweka, nikafungua mlango. Wakati nilikuwa nataka kuchemsha maji ya kukamua, nikapata nguo yake ya ndani ameiweka ndani ya meko. Hapo sikuendelea na hiyo kazi yenye nilikuwa nayo. Hata sikukamua hiyo jana, nimekamua asubuhi.
Mtoto akatuelezea vile ilikuwa, vile alipata nyumba yake imekaa jioni. Basi tukachukua muda tukaenda kuona jikoni. Kweli tulipata msichana wangu amechukua nguo yake ya ndani ameweka kwa meko yake yenye anapigia. Kwanza kuni chini, nguo yake ya ndani juu, amechukua karatasi nyingine sijui ni ya chemical ameongezea. Amechukua kitambaa kingine amefunikia.
Na unaona nao watu wamefunga ndoa takatifu. Huyu tukaona ametoa nguo yake ya ndani ameweka kwa meko na kuni ziko ndani, na amechukua hiyo karatasi ya Easy Black amewekelea juu. Na karatasi inachukua na kitambaa pale walisema ilikuwa imefunikia hicho. Hiyo ilikuwa imeficha. Hatujui alikuwa na nia gani. Kwa sababu kiberiti kilikuwa hapo, yani kijana akikuja tu awakishe moto, lakini kijana mwenyewe bila aliona hivyo. Alilala bila chakula, alilala njaa. Hata asubuhi mimi ndo nimempikianga chai akikunywa. Hiyo ni maajabu ya ulimwengu. Maajabu kabisa. Hatujawahi tangu nizaliwe. I've never seen that in my life.
Her mother-in-law has vowed never to welcome her back after the unspeakable act.
Akija sitamkaribisha, imekuwa tu ni hali ya harusi, lakini mtoto mwenye ameniachia, kwa hivyo vyote nilifanya ni suruhali kwa meko. Yeye ameniachia, hiyo ndio mali yenye ameniachia sasa kwa sahihi, lakini kurudi kwake sitamkaribisha.
Mulindi Kerry, TV47 in the county of Kakamega.
From Kakamega, let's move on to Bungoma County. A local well-wisher in Bungoma County has donated PPEs, sanitizers, and masks to health facilities as a way of boosting the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. Take a look.
From Liberation group, wametuletea some mask, some PPEs we're going to use to protect us against COVID-19, and also they have donated hand sanitizers, and we are so grateful for them because it is going to help us fight this COVID-19. Therefore, on behalf of the hospital, Bokoli Sub-County Hospital, we are so grateful for the input, and we do pray that the funders, may God bless them as they help us as the frontliners fight COVID-19.
hospital is okay because our med soup and the matron and the HMT team tried to secure some PPEs. At least we have some uniforms that we are wearing. When we go outside the hospital, we remove the uniforms and we wear our usual clothes that tumekuja nazo kutoka home. So we don't have any challenge with PPEs at the moment. But at least when we get some again, we will appreciate because we never get satisfied. We still need more, at least for the change.
Recently, we've seen truck drivers passing this route. And you know, as a CSR hospital, we are the mother facility at this border point. So we request the county government to facilitate supervisors at the border center, so that they can be taking temperatures of these truck drivers and their history of traveling.
From Bungoma to Somalia now, a young Somali mechanical engineer has designed a prototype of a ventilator that he believes could help the COVID-19 patients in his country if need comes. Somalia faces a shortage of healthcare equipment with only 19 ventilators to serve a population of 15 million. Lexi Kimani reports.
When Somalia announced its first COVID-19 death, Mohamed Adawe, a 21-year-old mechanical engineer from Mogadishu, decided he would put his skills to good use to save his kinsmen. He came up with this homemade ventilator which he hopes can help patients breathe.
I swear in the name of Allah, the situation in the country and coronavirus is very critical. People are dying of coronavirus and a lack of oxygen because there are a few ventilators in the country.
Mohamed is on his way to a hospital in Mogadishu to test out its prototype device. Its efforts are welcome as Somalia has 1,089 confirmed coronavirus cases with 52 deaths, the highest number of fatalities in the region. According to Somalia's Minister of Health, Dr. Fawzia Abdullahi Noor, Somalia's health system is ill-equipped to fight coronavirus as ventilators also need electricity, medical-grade oxygen and trained staff to maintain them.
But what we need for the time being urgently is to get the medical equipments we have requested several times. Yes, we are getting some, but as I was talking about the testing, PCRs, we need rapid tests, we need ventilators, we need oxygen plants, which is missing in the country, and for all states, because the need in Mogadishu or in Banadar is the same as such of the rest of the countries, of all the states.
Mohammed's invention may seem rudimentary, but many hospitals in Somalia only have basic handheld oxygen pumps.
My message to the international community is I need help. I could make more than 20 new ventilators that could save the lives of many Somali people. I am capable of doing so, but I don't have the financial means.
Somalia's health minister says that the government is proud of the young man and he serves as an inspiration to the youth of Somalia. Lexi Kimani, TV47.
Thank you, Lexi Kimani, our international affairs reporter, for compiling that report. Well, that brings us to the end of today's edition of News Deck. I am Abubakar Abdullahi. Bye for now. Enjoy the rest of your viewership.